Right. Hi there. Well, first of all, thank you to all those that said yes, please. And so here goes. I'm going to record um, the rationale for thinking on negotiating strategy. Now, I've rehearsed this a bit, but it's going to be a little bit ad lib. But hey, we're in sales. Let's go. All right. So, promised the video update and how my negotiation strategy exacted a further 33,000 from that property negotiation. I actually don't think it matters what you're negotiating. The principles are the same, whatever you're going through, and the factors. And we'll talk about those in a second. I'm going to try and keep this to about 10 minutes. Okay, so here's kind of how I did it. So the dependencies, you have to get in the head of the person that's the other side of the negotiation. And actually, in a property, there might be two. You've got to convince the agent. You've got with an argument that will convince their customer, and you often wonder who the customer is in a property negotiation. I mean, I'm paying them the money. I consider myself to be their client, but it doesn't always feel like that. Okay, so what are the personal priorities? What's the agenda, if you like, if we're in business to business sales, which I am, and you probably are too. What's the agenda? What do they want to achieve? What do I want to achieve? And we have to have that thought process, and every deal is different, but the subject matter headings are going to be the same. What do they want to achieve? Okay, now we're not going to get to the bottom of that one here, but I'm just getting you to think in that direction. Some of the factors are going to be their personal priorities. If they're a salesperson, sales professional, there might be where are they in their target? It might come down to being as simple as that. Where are they in their month or their quarter in terms of a percentage, and also in terms of the time remaining to do their target? That's very hard to kind of smoke out. I mean, I'd be surprised if a salesperson told you, unless they've got a reason for telling you, and always be wary of that. But I'd be surprised if they would tell you where they are in their target, because that is probably unethical to disclose that information. There you go. The timing in terms of the annual year where they are. If are they a listed company? Do they need that deal for their half-year results, their quarterly results, their full-year results, whatever? These are all thinking that you have to put into place. The quality of the offer could be another dynamic. You know, are they actually capable of completing on this deal? Now, in terms of property, can they get a mortgage? Have they got the funds? All of those things. But if you're in business to business sales and you're selling to a big bank, telco, or even another SME, those are all the conditions. So what's the quality of the offer? Is there anything behind it? Are they actually capable of completing on it? And are you talking to the right people? All of those things. Okay, the external market dynamics as well. We've seen changes of government. We've had 3 prime ministers in the United Kingdom in about 18 months. So these are all things that can really upset where you're going. You have no control over those aspects. Okay, so where are we next? External market dynamics. Yeah, okay, so inflation, the economy, COVID, pandemics, all of those things you have no control over, but they absolutely can come back and bite you in the backside if you're not careful. And the other thing is, this kind of talks to the timing issue that we talked about, the personal priorities, is how desperate, or in property terms, how motivated are the buyers, how motivated are the sellers even. Okay, so these are all dynamics that we need to kind of start considering. Okay, right. So for those of you that voted, and I'll put the link in again because it's still live, so you can vote and kind of play that game. But those of you voted for option 1, take the deal, the first offer that comes out of the gate, which is always interesting. And I see this happen quite often, and I'll tell you where it happens, is with legal firms that are acting for big estate agencies. So a property comes out to the market, and so for you, you're buying a property. It could be your life's asset. You're going to put your family in that home. But to the other party, the law firm, the big bank or building society that have got the mortgage on it, it's nothing. It is a number in a spreadsheet somewhere. And what they want is they want to get that. Yes, of course, they've got to represent their client, get the best possible price. But at the end of the day, they need to shift that item. So take the deal. That can happen, that they will just take the deal. And if you do that, it's cost you £48,000. Now, if you can afford to do that, well, talk to me first and I'll get you a better price. But if you can afford to do that, fine. Take the deal. Again, certainty of completion, quality of offer, all of those things, that can happen. But it's a £48,000 hit, a big hit on your P&L. So if option two, meet in the middle, and this is classic negotiation. It's almost the default position. It's awkward negotiating. It feels uncomfortable. It's supposed to. The other side wants you to feel uncomfortable. You've got to find a way of getting through that. First of all, you're in the game, which is fine. You have to understand the rules of the game, but they want you to feel uncomfortable because it will probably cause a better outcome for them. So bear that in mind. Okay, so you meet in the middle. It's first of all, I believe that's too easy. You've instantly caved in. I'm trying to think on the fly what the middle is, but it's less than 300, just less than 300k. It's a big move. And what are the chances of meeting in the middle, and then the other side comes back with a form of words, whatever it is, and you end up meeting in the middle again? You'll have given away over £30,000 at that point. And I'm in Yorkshire, and I can tell you now that Yorkshire wouldn't stand for that. They want to move £30,000 because money means an awful lot up here, even though it's very vulgar to talk about it. Okay, brilliant. So what happens next? So I'm going to go into that in a little bit of detail, and I'm going to share my screen just now. No, not that one, but this one. Share. There we go. So let's go full screen on that. So hopefully, excuse me, you can, let's do the slideshow thing and current slide. There we go. So this is much better. So cost of meeting in the middle is like this. Do you remember we listed at 350k? We had 63 viewings and no offers. We relisted at 325 because there are some competition. There was a house just down the road, and that was significant. Couldn't really sell past that. Okay, they come in with their offer of 277. Big delta there. And so what happens? We go and we meet in the middle. There we go. 299k, just less than 300k. Meeting in the middle, not to scale, but it's about there. Then you're going back through the agent, or you're having a horse trading conversation actually in person. Well, we think 299, whatever, but you're going in the middle because something like 82% of people will do that. They'll go in the middle, and so no surprises there. You won't raise any eyebrows, and then you meet in the middle again, and then just a reminder, the number that I got was 310 through my strategy, and I'll tell you about that in a second. But instantly there's a 22k delta between the number, the cost of the meeting in the middle, and the number that you could have achieved by using my strategy. Okay, brilliant. So that's the cost of meeting in the middle. Okay, so my idea is called open extreme. An open extreme, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. It's just by looking at things in a slightly, well, in fact, a manifestly different way. And so it's about when you make your move, when you make an offer. Remember, they've already offered, they've given their number, whatever that happens to be. What happens next is what's going to dictate the tone of the negotiation. Your move dictates the tone that you're undertaking the negotiation. So here we go. So here's on a linear diagram, easier to look at. Remember, we listed at 350, we quickly recalibrated at 325, and that got us into conversations that led to an offer. The offer, of course, was 277. Okay, so remember, if you met in the middle, it would have been around 299. Instantly, we've given away £26,000 all too easily. All too easily. So here's my idea. My idea is instead to open here, 323. Now, remember, 82% of people would have gone in the middle, and 18% would have done something else. And I read all the comments, but very few people would have done this, very few, less than 5%. So it is radical, but I can tell you through real life examples of this and others, it's really important. Your first move, and this is really my first move, it dictates the tone of the negotiation. So 323, what does that signal? It signals there is room to negotiate, but I want to talk about my number. I don't want to base it on your number. Your number is just it's unexpected. You're trying to negotiate, of course. I want to talk about my number, not your number. We're focused on my number, and that psychologically brings the other party further towards my thinking. Now we're not talking about a 299 number coming further towards 299. We're coming much further forward to 323. They counter with a big move. So I've moved 2 and they've moved 13, 6 times my movement. What does that tell me? In fact, what does it tell you? I'm going to give you a few seconds just to think about that. What does it tell you in terms of how they've moved and how I've moved? They've moved more than me. That signals to me good faith that they're playing a game. They may not know what the rules are yet, but I believe there's much further to go in that negotiation. So 310 is the number that I come back with. They agree at 310. So that's not quite in the middle, I don't think. No, that's further towards, but it's a big movement, and I've signaled then that is the number. We close on that number, and this deal actually did complete. So I'm not talking about a classroom theoretical conversation. I'm talking about actual deal that was agreed. So I've made the difference between their opening offer and where we settled at 33k, and the deal went through at 310k. So depending on how you view this, it's a 33k improvement by exercising my strategy on open extreme. Don't just go for the middle, open extreme, and that gets you into a much better place. Okay, what's next? Okay, so other thoughts. So coming to the end of this now, excuse me, the other thoughts and my negotiation course will talk about these things and other negotiation real life situations, including a Bentley, not mine, but another transaction I'm quite close to. I haven't got a Bentley, by the way. Lovely cars though they are, but not for me. So anyway, other thoughts. what was going through their mind on the significance of the 277k offer? That's an unusual number. So what was going on there? I'll talk about that in the negotiation course in more detail. What are the other dependencies? We'll go into all of those: appetite, quality of offer, quota, timing, all of those things, and then the market. How does that impact? Excuse me. How does that impact what we're talking about? And the outcome, because that's what we're after in a negotiation. What is the outcome? Right, brilliant. So let's stop that share. Fantastic. And let's do that as well. Thank you. Okay, so we're just going to wrap up now. So Open Extreme. There are negotiations on my negotiation blogs on my website. So you're welcome to go to www.salesmarvel.co.uk, hit blogs. There's loads of free stuff on there. Excuse me, and I'll send you a link where you can obtain my negotiation course at a discounted rate. And here's my ask of you: in return for the discounted rate, I want reviews, but I don't want any old review. I want your review, in authentic to self, in your terms, and all of those things. So listen, hope you've found that insightful. Give this video a like, will you? Make a comment on it, especially if you learned something. If you want to take advantage of the coupon that I'm going to send you as a result of this, that's fantastic. Thank you for your business in advance, and would be really grateful for a review, and that gives me a chance to produce more content as well. So fantastic. Thank you very much for your time and attention. Hope you found it useful. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and drop me a line if there's anything more you want to know about this. I'd love to hear from you. All right, take care. See you.